All right, so instead we're gonna fly this out here on the last video we made. So we're getting everything reconnected here. Get this up so we are ready to fly. So let's go ahead and begin the flight, and then we're gonna fire this up here. See if I can do this and show you guys. See if I can figure out where to put you guys for takeoff and how I take off. See if I can figure out where to put you guys and how I take off when I'm in my Jeep. And I think we can do it right here like this. So if I put you guys here. Okay, so for me, all I'm doing is I will sit here. We've got all the safety checks done. So we're preparing, we're calibrating, and I will take off from my hand just like this once that gets going. So it's ready to fly. Starting drone, you can see on the beacon, maybe you can't tell, it's kind of dark, but it is ready to fly. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press and hold the blue button on the beacon right there. And from there, it will take off. Let's see how this works out here. Press and hold. And it'll take off right out of my hand. And immediately, because I'm using the beacon, it will immediately turn around and find the beacon. So now you guys can see that we are using GPS tracking right now. I'll shut this window so you can't hear the beacon. Now I do have to be careful, we do have some power lines here, so I'm going to increase the height a little bit right there, which I can also do on the beacon. Some of the great things that you can do with the beacon, if I pull this out of here, it's tough to do one-handed. If I pull this out of here and I press and hold this blue button right here, and then I can physically move the drone. So if I press and hold this, and then I just push the front of it and let go, it will actually move to the front. Actually, it went too far, so it's on the side. So we can try and come back. There it goes. Now you can see it right there in the front. I can go up and down. It's kind of windy out right now. You can see it trying to maintain. You can go down, which gives us that beautiful shot right there. So that's a gorgeous shot. But based on where we're running right now, I'm going to run it, and I can just take this and I can say which direction I want it to follow from. And we're going to follow from the back left of the vehicle. So I haven't moved yet, so it doesn't know which is the back left of the vehicle. So it's trying to figure that out. So we're going to go ahead and leave that there. Oh, whoops, I got to put this away proper like. That goes down in there. Boom. That goes on. Now I can control the distance and increase that distance. Can also do it here with the range button. Okay, so if you don't have a beacon, you can do a lot of what we're doing here with just your phone or an iPad or whatever it is that you want it to be. So from there, let's go for a drive and see if we can get it to maintain and follow us here. Oops, if I take the emergency brake off. Okay, so it's gonna, like I said, it's gonna try and figure out exactly where we're at. So now as we're going backwards, it thinks it's on the left quarter right there, because it technically is as we're going backwards. Now we're going to start up, and as we come this way, it should figure out that, hey, this isn't the left corner. I'm going to go around to the left side of the rear corner based on where it's driving, and you can see that right there as a turn. Now for me, I personally like bigger distance drone shots because it allows you to get more of the of the, not only the vehicle, but it gets more of the scenery as well. So put this in 4 low just to help me maintain the speed here as we're driving. So it'll help me while we're going here. So you can see it's tracking the GPS right there because it doesn't have line of sight with me. So it's tracking the GPS. Now we can raise that because I do want a little more height here. Obviously want to be able to see the vehicle. That might have been a little too high, so come down a little bit. And as we go, now we can take it to, now if let's say I wanted to adjust the angle a little bit and get more of that, you can take and let's see, won't do it on there with the motion track going, but let me stop the motion track for a second. Now I can swipe up and get more of that landscape, right? So you do have the ability to do that. It's going to reset itself from the beginning. So now we're gonna have to increase the range again. As we get going, it'll reset itself to the left side. You can see it go around those trees. And I'm actually gonna put it on just the left side, not the left quartering away. That way I can come out here and I can show you guys the actual drone footage of what the drone looks like as it's flying. Not too bad. It will miss. Now we are coming up on some power lines here. So you can see the power lines there. So I gotta watch those. So I know these power lines, they go down. So I'm going to raise the drone and get a little bit of height here. And I'm also going to increase the distance. So now you can see us fly. We're well above the power lines at this point. And I can actually go down if I would like, because it will keep that distance of those power lines way out. So you guys can see there, pretty good, the beacon. Now if I wanted to do some fancy shots, this would be the kind of the place or the time, because I'm in a pretty cool canyon here. But let's move this to the front. So we're going to move that to the front, and I'm also going to drop the height so that we don't hit those power lines. So give it a chance to get set up. Boom, right there in front of us, and you can see that. So there's the drone right there in front of us. I got power lines right on top of me. So now if I increase that range to give you a little bit more of the just once again hit that plus on the beacon, and it pushes us out, give you a little bit more of the scenery involved. So you can see here, there's a rock there, we're well below the power lines, but now we get to watch as the drone goes into the trees. So you're gonna see the drone start to do some crazy maneuvers here as it tries to avoid the trees, and it avoids everything else because it is autonomous. And you can see it over there as it's coming. It's gonna hook back around behind those trees, sees us there, and it's gonna continue to keep that camera focused on the GPS. So it's gonna go back, it's gonna come back over here as it comes in front. Bam, there it is right there in front of us. It's gonna be moving a little bit out of the trees here, and you'll be able to see it move. There it goes, up and out of the trees, because it was semi-boxed in there. So I'm gonna raise the height again because the power lines do dip below us here. So let me raise that height again. Let me stop, raise the height. There you see it there, and there you see it up there. So it's pretty easy. It's really not too difficult to be able to fly. And it allows me to not have to actually fly the drone to get some pretty good drone shots. Now I know it's a little blurry on this, on the iPad or the screen. That is kind of typical. But when the video comes out, it's a good video. It shoots in 4K, up to 60, I think it's 60 frames a second. So it does shoot really well. And you can see that it's just gonna stick around there to the front of the vehicle. Now, if we wanted to go to the rear of the vehicle, you can just come over here, you can press back, or you can come over here and you can press on the beacon where you want it to be. So we've changed it to the rear. So now as it gets going, as we get going, you're gonna see it fly around, allow us to pass, and at that point it's going to be, sorry for this camera guys, I'm all over the place, trying to be stable here. Hopefully the GoPro 11 Hyper Smooth will help us out there, but you can see some of that just amazing country that we're in right now, because the drone does get to shoot such a wide field of view. So I do love this drone because of that. Now let's talk about landing. All right, so I'm gonna land it, but it is gonna get a little loud for you guys, and I'm gonna land it right here. So when I land this, and that's a good place to stop. Okay, so when I go to land this, I'm actually gonna stop the motion track, and then I'm just gonna physically bring this thing up, which you can fly with these little controls right here. So I'm gonna turn it like that a little bit. I'm gonna come up a little bit more. Okay, so from there, I'm gonna pull the beacon out. I'm gonna make sure I'm in park. I'm gonna pull the beacon out. I'm gonna get out, and I'm gonna look at this. Okay, so we still need to go a little bit farther. I'm gonna put you down here. Okay, so basically I still need it to come forward. I do have the ability on the beacon to manually drive this. It's not, you don't get a ton of options here. You can go forward, rotate left and right, and that's it. So I'm gonna bring it forward till it's right above me. And then from there, all I'm gonna do is I'm going to press and hold the stop button, which will land it, and I want the drone facing away from me. And that's it as far as landing. Now, something that definitely want to make sure you understand, because I learned this the hard way, that if you move your hand while it's loading, while it's landing, and before you shut it, it shuts itself off, it will try and take back off again. So make sure you hold still. Once you do that, you're good to go. So that's pretty much how I fly my Skydio. Hope you guys enjoyed that video here, and hopefully we can go wheeling sometime and get some cool video of your rig. Just let me know. I'm always down to go wheeling. And thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and share this with your friends, because it will really help out in getting everything taken care of. So thanks, guys.